What's going on, YouTube? Nitro World. It's your guy, Mr. Lil Chili, back. I wanted to shoot a video talking a little bit about chassis setup and basically one adjustment in particular. This adjustment, I guess, really doesn't get talked about too much, but is a very not a very important chassis adjustment to keep a track of, but it's also a chassis adjustment that affects your overall handling of your car pretty much immensely. You know, like, you're basically going to feel a difference. So this chassis adjustment mainly geared towards, you know, the racing side of the crowd. The bashers can also use this information for their side. They may not get as much benefits out of it. I'm saying, as though like they're more in a wide open environment and stuff. But the chassis adjustment is called droop. And what that is, droop is the down travel of your suspension arm in relation to your ride height of your chassis. That's the best way I can explain it. Basically, it's how far can you pick your chassis up like this while still maintaining contact with your tires on the ground. So pretty much you'll measure that with a pair of digital calipers, you know, which would be the easiest for me. And you'll go from the center of the bottom shock mounting screw to the center of the shock mounting screw on your tower. And that'll give you your droop. You know, for me, it got 132 millimeters. There's another way where if you have the car on the ground and say you're using a ruler, like you got the car on a flat surface, you're using a ruler, and what you'll do is you'll push up on the bottom of the chassis like this, you know, sorry about that, until basically the tires start to come off the ground. Right at the point where they come off the ground, you'll see how far that is on your measurement here, and then you'll basically subtract that from your ride height, and that'll give you your droop in that measurement. They'll probably come out different numbers doing it those ways, but those are the two easiest ways to measure it. You check your droop, or not check, but you adjust your droop with the droop screws that go through the arms on most 8-scale kits. They go through the arms, and they'll hit up against the chassis somewhere right underneath the arm, and on like a little wing or something. Right, for mine is right here. And basically, if you screw the droop screw down, it'll in essence push the arm up, reducing droop. If you unscrew the droop screw and you raise the droop screw off of the chassis, in essence, it'll give you more, it'll increase more droop and allow the arm to come down more like that. So that's the basics of it, of adjustment, measurement. Now, what droop will do, say you're on a high bike track, your traction rolling. If you decrease your droop, which means screw your droop screws down and raise the arms up, it'll start to reduce the body roll, which will reduce your chances of traction rolling. If you want to just adjust it in the rear, and let me stop right here. I need to make this clear. Make sure that your droop adjustment, your measurement is going to be the same on the right as it is on the left. It can be different front to rear, but no matter if you're in the front or if you're in the rear, when you make your measurements and your adjustments, make sure you make them equal left to right or right to left. Now back to it. If you doing some adjustments in the rear, and say you need more corner speed, you know, but the car's not rotating, you adjust your droop to reduce it. And what that'll happen is it'll free up the rear end, you know, bringing the arm up like that. It'll free the rear end up, allow the car to rotate more from the rear. And it's basically the opposite, you know. If say you need to, you're on a loose track, you know, you're spinning out on corner entry, or you're losing grip mid corner or something, increase your droop. Go from having your droop up here to letting it hang down more. So now that the chassis can basically roll more on the rear and produce more traction in the rear. In the front, if your steering is feeling like a little bit numb in the front, you know, reduce your droop in the front of the car. You know, once again, reduce your droop in the front. What that'll do is it'll make the steering a little bit more responsive. Opposite end of that, you know, if basically you're on, say, like a bumpy track, you know, it's rutted out. There's potholes in the faces of jumps and stuff. You'll want to increase the droop overall, front and rear, but mainly in the front. What that'll do, that'll help you jump better. It'll lessen chassis slap on the face of the jump. It'll give you a little bit more pop, I would say, off of the jump, and basically it'll land a little bit smoother on the transition of the landing face. Also, less droop in the front. I'm sorry, more droop in the front will actually give you a little bit more on power off of the exit. You know, not steering but traction. It'll give you more traction on power exiting off of the corner. Let's see. There's probably sometimes there's going to be cases where, say, your car's set up perfect, you know, but you got a track that's rutted out, but say it's not really loose, you know. In that situation, it may be best to give your car, you know, less droop, but by it being rutted out, you will figure that, okay, it's going to be a little bit crazy and stuff and get out of control. But what happens is your car will sort of skim over top of the ruts and the holes, versus the droop allowing the wheels to drop down in the holes. It'll sort of skim over them, you know. And opposite of that, you know, sometimes you're going to be in a situation where, you know, like you got a lot of grip, but, you know, you're still feeling like the car's a neutral handling car, you know. Basically giving it more droop in some of those, in certain situations, you know, it'll basically have a gradual loss of traction. The body will roll, you know, more, and then it'll gradually lose traction or gradually start to traction roll, versus, you know, having less droop in that situation and the car suddenly spinning out, or, you know, suddenly flipping over and stuff. So it's basically hit or miss, and it's something that should be adjusted just about every time, or checked just about every time you come in from a run, because chassis wears from the droop screws, so that'll change your droop. You may just get some dirt stuck up in there, stuff. Any kind of things can basically throw that adjustment a little bit out. So always check that adjustment. And I would just recommend anybody just try messing with it, you know. go 1 millimeter, you know, one way or the other, you know, but just make sure that adjustment is the same on the left and the right, you know, and just try it out and let me know what y'all think, you know. Just come back, leave a comment or something, let me know what you think, how it affected your handling or how you felt it at the wheel and stuff. But one thing I would say, you will feel it. You'll probably feel it more, and it'll take a whole lot less time than going into your diff, changing your diff oil. It'll take a lot less time than, say, you know, you want to change a shock package or something, you know. It'll take a lot less time than putting an underdrive gear in the rear, overdrive in your front, or vice versa, however you want to do it. It's a lot less time than all of that. It's right there in the open. Sometimes even with buggies, you can probably get to both the front and the rear droop screws while the body's on, and boop, 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 turn it like that, and you're good to go. So just wanted to shoot that video, and I know I was sort of rambling on. Like I said, it's raining out here. You know, I just came out here and stuff, you know, just said, well, let me do something while I'm out here messing around. So I just wanted to shoot that little video and stuff, and hope that helps somebody out there. You know, if there's any questions or whatever, you know, just like leave it in the comments and stuff, and I'll get back with you. You know, with that being said, I'll holler at y'all later, YouTube. All right.